McMahon's going to make money to spite himself. He's a millionaire who should be a billionaire. You know why he's not a billionaire? It's because he surrounds himself with glad-handing, nonsensical, douchebag yes-men like John Laurinaitis, who's going to tell him everything that he wants to hear. And I'd like to think that maybe this company will be better after Vince McMahon's dead. But the fact is, it's going to get taken over by his idiotic daughter and his doofus son-in-law and the rest of his stupid family.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Down the Scope. My name is Strange Dabs, and with me today, my two co-hosts, Lux. Go ahead and let the fam know who you are and everything.
What's up, everybody? This is Lux Rider, Avery Buchanan.
All right. And a lot of the 2K community will know this man. But we got Donnie Dumps on the podcast as a regular host. Donnie, what's going on, my man?
Man, I'm just chilling. How you guys doing?
I'm good, bro. I'm good. So, as we heard in the opening clip, that was from the most historic pipe bomb in pro wrestling history. CM Punk's pipe bomb promo, shoot, whatever we want to go ahead and call it. The only thing that I have to say about that I kind of want to correct, and even CM Punk on WWE Backstage has even said this, Triple H isn't the problem. No, he's not.
No.
NXT has put on, and as we've seen over years, NXT has put on some of the best shows, pay-per-views, big-time shows, whatever you want to call it. Even their weekly product is 10 times better, especially from what we've seen.
They're putting on shows that are consistently some of the best in professional wrestling, and not just WWE. Like, you can put their matches up there with hell, and I never thought I'd be able to say this from a WWE product, but up there with like Kenny Okada matches from New Japan. Like, listen, it's that good.
The best feud to ever come out of WWE as a whole came from NXT, and it's the Ciampa and Gargano feud. Point blank and period.
I honestly, the only other feud I could put up to that point that was really good was probably Edge versus Cena through the summer of 2006.
Well, let's get Donnie's opinion. Donnie, what was your and we're talking storyline, booking, all the way down to the finish of a feud. What in your opinion was the best feud in WWE history leading? And I'm going to be speaking over the past 10 years. What would you put?
Well, that's it.
Yeah,
was that 10 years? But
over the past 10 years, what was your favorite and or opinionated best feud in WWE history over the past 10 years, Donnie?
Over the past 10 years?
Over the past 10 years.
I mean, honestly, none of them.
Really?
None of them, nah.
Wow.
Okay.
I gotta do.
I liked Edge Cena, but I mean, I felt like Edge just carried John Cena. Edge was the man.
Well,
that rivalry was good simply because of, like Edge said on the promo when he returned after, I think, WrestleMania 28, I believe. You know, you had Edge, who at that point in his career, the brass ring. You know, at that point, like, when Edge beat John Cena, that was his first world title in that company. He's been in that company at that point since 1998, I think.
Yeah, like 15 years or some shit like that. Yeah.
Not that long, but a good long break.
Yeah, it was a long break.
Going in against who, at that point, was the face of the company.
Right.
You know, so it was polar opposite. We've seen Cena in a position of, man, he's not on top right now. He is weak. He is getting beaten. He is getting started with the cash in, and then it went to Edge is trying to say, like, yo, I don't want him on my show. It went to the point of where he slapped John Cena's father in the face.
Yeah, booking
Like, John
wise,
was weak.
yeah, booking wise, that feud was top notch. I'm not even gonna.
With the first time, because the thing is, and I'm gonna bring this up, is most of the time in WWE we don't really get like hometown favorites. Home field advantage doesn't really matter. It was the first time it broke kayfabe because at that point in the feud, John Cena was the babyface, Edge was the heel. But when they went into Toronto I think it was No Way Out, was it?
I think it was No Way Out. I'm
Yeah,
pretty
No
sure
Way
it
Out
was.
for that TLC match. Who was the crowd favorite?
Yeah, you ain't wrong.
Edge.
Yeah, you
It
ain't
was
wrong.
Edge.
He
And
was.
John Cena was getting booed for the first time in his career.
Yeah, you ain't
People
wrong.
hated him.
Yeah, true. Of course, Cena's got booed before. I mean, let's go ahead and look back at the ECW fucking return, which.
Oh my God, that was amazing.
But I mean, that was like 2006, 2006, because he walked into the Hammerstein Ballroom to face Rob Van Dam.
Van Dam.
And motherfuckers in the crowd are holding up signs, if Cena wins, we riot. And I'm
Right.
sorry, even though he was a face, motherfucker was
That
a
was
heel.
big.
Motherfucker was a heel.
That was
like
big.
in that moment, because you are the Hammerstein Ballroom in ECW history was
They're in Madison Square Garden.
that was the epitome of a Madison Square Garden for ECW. Like it really was.
Right.
And for Cena to walk into that bitch holding the belt, not even phased by the fans booing and throwing trash at him, like throwing trash
that
at him.
entrance tell me that was not one of the coldest entrances in that man's career. Because
no, it
he
was,
just
for
stood
sure.
up there, just had his head down, title up, almost like a boxer walking
It kind
into
of
a ring.
reminded me. I don't know if y'all feel this way, but it kind of reminded me of Tyson and what was that fight? Shit. Or actually, I'll put it in better terms for modern day because some of these fans won't remember that. It kind of reminded me of the Conor McGregor and Nate Diaz fight.
Right.
It really did. No, Diaz was the one that people wanted to beat the living shit out of McGregor,
Right.
and he did.
He did.
The first time.
And honestly, God, and honestly, and this is going to be
Yeah, I believe so,
and
too.
We're not going to dwell too much into this because this is a wrestling podcast,
yeah,
not
right,
MMA
exactly.
podcast. But early in that fight, like everybody just takes the first 2 rounds into a credit. I knew going into that fight, I'm like, when it comes to Conor and all his fights, you got to survive the first 2 rounds with him.
Yeah.
You survive the first 2 rounds, he drains. So
Yeah.
Diaz did that, and he got dropped once, and that's the highlight that they keep playing. That left hand that dropped Diaz.
You know-
He didn't get dropped. He took a knee.
Let's go ahead and segue this into wrestling. You want to know who McGregor actually reminds me of?
So,
Goldberg. Now let's talk about the Saudi Blood Money Part 5, shall we?
that wasn't a segue. That was kind of like a hard left down the street.
Yeah,
but
no,
let's go.
we're just gonna hop right into it.
All right.
WWE.
We waited long enough.
Listen, we waited long enough, and this has been on everybody's shit, and it's hit
Yeah.
my shit list. And I want to go ahead and give a huge shout out to one of my favorite podcasts that I actually like to listen to, and that's Beats, Rhymes, and Body Slams. I want to give a huge shout out to them. To where my my homie.
By the way, my roommate told me that Goldberg is getting booed massively right now.
Oh, that doesn't fucking surprise me. So my homie, Yokai, Misfit Yokai, I love this man to death. He has actually been one of the only very few wrestling friends from Instagram besides y'all that has been following what I do in the 2K community, UVWA and everything else like that for an ill minute. He actually canceled his WWE subscription.
Wow.
Yeah, I know, and that's the shit that.
Well, that's why I never own one.
Here's the thing. I have one. I'll be honest. I actually recently just realized mine was still active because I literally logged in. I was like, Oh crap! It's still going.
Okay, so I'm mad, but I'm not that bad. Let me make one thing clear. The reason why I'm mad, and we've talked about this numerous times in numerous group chats, and we're going to go ahead and continue to talk about this. I'm not mad Goldberg won. I'm not. I'm mad
about how he won.
I'm mad about how he won. It was a 4-minute. I actually didn't.
It's a Goldberg match. 4 minutes, baby.
I know. 4 minutes. It was 4 minutes.
Come on.
And what? 4 minutes and 22 seconds or some shit like that?
Can't go any farther.
And that's literally, and as we know, watching WCW and everything else like that, that is a Goldberg match. That is a Goldberg match.
That is.
But,
like, I think his longest matches. I think one of his longest matches he had
was against Brock Lesnar.
No. Well, okay. Thank you for bringing that up because I want to say this now, and I've had this on my chest for a while, and and everybody brings up this discussion. I always say this. In your opinion, what do you think, Chris, is the worst WrestleMania match in history? Because in my opinion, I have my opinion, but go ahead. I want to get yours. What do you think is the worst WrestleMania match in history?
The worst WrestleMania? The worst? Oh, man, that's...
The worst.
In all of WWE history.
Yeah. Let's do modern. Let's do modern history.
Okay, I was about to say.
From 2000 to 2020. From modern history. 2000
over the past 2 decades. Okay.
Yeah, that's 2 decades.
WrestleMania 20, Goldberg versus Brock.
Thank you, Donnie!
I didn't want to point out the obvious, but Donnie kind of did it for me.
That match, okay, and the worst part about that, and thank you, Donnie, for because you literally shut down the elephant in the room.
Yeah, real shit.
Literally, because the build-up was dope, the presentation was dope, the match was shit. Like, literally, the build-up was awesome because it was like Goldberg was said to get into the Rumble, and like, all right, cool, Goldberg in the Rumble. He was fucking shit up. He was spearing everything left and right, and Brock Lesnar just interfered and took him out. I'm like, oh shit, and then it had Stone Cold Steve Austin giving Goldberg a ticket to No Way Out, which, by the way, his interference created one of the best WWE Championship moments in the last 2 decades. With Eddie Guerrero winning the title over Brock Lesnar. And then
which needed to happen. It needed to happen, by the way.
so, and then we had freaking Goldberg, Brock Lesnar beating the hell out of Stone Cold Steve Austin, taking his 4-liter. Stone Cold Steve Austin showing up the road with a pickup truck, taking back his 4-wheeler. Goldberg's in the mix. Like, oh shit, Goldberg versus Brock with Stone Cold Steve Austin special referee. It was set to blow Madison Square Garden the fuck up.
And what happened?
What happened was
it flopped.
5 minutes of first them just walking around the ring. Freaking Brock didn't want to get in the ring. And then right when they're getting ready to lock up, then Brock slid out of the ring again. Freaking Stone Cold Steve Austin was like, come on, get in here. And we waited it felt like 10 minutes before they actually touched each other and they locked up. They did one lockup, broke apart, and then continued to walk around for another 5 minutes. And then they did another lockup, broke up, walked around for another 5 minutes. Like, literally, you have to fast forward to the end of the match, and I think it was like 2 shoulder tackles, 1 power move from both of the guys, and then it just ended spear, jackhammer, done. We don't see Brock for another goddamn 10 years.
Yep.
Like, it was the build, like, damn, yo. Like, every time I watch that, because honestly, WrestleMania 20 is one of my favorite WrestleManias of all time. Every time I watch that, I'm just like, damn, bro.
I just. But, let's get back into Saudi Blood Money Part 5 real quick here.
Okay.
And for
has there really been 5 pay-per-views already?
Yeah, dude. This was their 5th. Yeah, this was their 5th. All right, so
I remember the first one.
The reason why I refuse. This is the only time that you guys will hear me call it this. I refuse to say WWE, whatever pay-per-view in Saudi Arabia, because when they first did the Greatest Royal Rumble live from Saudi Arabia, I was from Jeddah. I was for it. I was all for it. I was not against it. I wanted to see what would happen. And then I watched it. and I was like, this is a glorified house show.
It was. And the thing is, I knew going into it, when I first watched the first one, I knew going into it, I said, the only thing positive coming out of this is going to be see who shows up in that Greatest Royal Rumble.
That was it. That was it.
Yeah. And honestly, don't play on them because, I mean, they weren't going to do anything major because it's a different market. Fans are different. They're not going to do anything big title-wise because fans over there might not get it. There would be no pop. It's just nothing really made sense to do it.
There was no pop.
It was
as soon as they had their very first match, and I'm sure because we're going to get to Donnie and let Donnie talk about it. When they had that first match in Saudi Arabia, and I believe it was an AJ Styles match, I think. No. What was it? Look it up. Google.
I got it. Greatest Royal Rumble. First off, when I heard Greatest Royal Rumble, I'm like, really? We just had a Rumble and you're going to have another one, right? Okay. The first match of that show, once again, this is April 27, 2018. Good Lord.
Yep. God damn, has it been that long already? Shit.
Yeah, no. I think, because I'm looking at the match order, but I'm not sure what matches went in there. But I think it was there was John Cena versus Triple H. I remember. Yeah. John Cena versus Triple H.
I remember that. Yeah, fantastic match. No pop.
Right.
No pop. No pop. Cena's music hit, and we know here in the States and in any other country that WWE goes to.
There's going to be a pop, whether it's positive or negative.
There's going to be a pop for John Cena, whether it's a course of booze or people cheering their fucking asses off. No pop. Triple H hits here in the States, any other country, you know damn well there's either going to be a course of booze
shit's going down,
or there's going to be people screaming their fucking head off. Not in fucking Saudi Arabia. No fucking pop. Same thing with Saudi Blood Money Part 5. Motherfucker, I was waiting for somebody to pop for someone. I don't care who it was. I don't care if it was the fucking Undertaker, which we will talk about that fucking shit show of a mess. I don't care if it was Brock Lesnar, which normally Brock Lesnar gets a pop no matter where the fuck he goes. I didn't care. I knew I knew Bray Wyatt wasn't going to get a pop. I knew Ricochet wasn't going to get a pop. You know who got a fucking pop?
Who? Mansoor.
Mansoor from fucking NXT got a pop. Why? Because he's from there.
That's his hometown. Yeah, I mean, that's the reason why they put him on the fucking show.
Right. Which is fine. I don't have a problem with that. You want to build a hometown hero.
Just to let you know, so far, I'm going through both the first two Saudi Arabia shows. The only title changes have been vacant title matches. Like, the first one was Bray Wyatt, and Matt Hardy, which we'll get to Bray later.
Yep.
Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy defeated Cesaro and Sheamus for the vacant Raw Tag Team title. And the second title change was at Crown Jewel that same year where Brock beat Braun for the vacant WWE Championship. Those were the only two technically title changes. Technically. But they're technically champions. Yeah.
So
continue.
Donnie, what is your opinion on Saudi Blood Money?
It's just revenue for the WWE. I mean,
besides that's the obvious.
Besides the obvious.
That's all it is to me. It's just a house show. They don't get money in two ways: TV and fucking Saudi Arabia money, because their ticket sales are down, their merchandise sales are down, their product sucks.
Yeah,
I mean,
it does.
They're gonna make money anyway, just because those two revenues. Like, that's why they kind of need Saudi Arabia right now too. They just want the money.
Yeah.
Look how much money they get. It's pretty much, you guys said it's a house show.
You're right.
Give them that much money.
You're absolutely
might
right.
not get out of that country though, so I don't know.
Yeah. What's up?
I just realized something.
What'd you realize?
Do you know where The Fiend won the Universal title?
In Saudi Arabia on Halloween.
And he lost the Universal title
in Saudi Arabia against Goldberg.
Where it began.
Yeah.
Ended where it began.
Which is fucking unfortunate.
Honest to God, like, that makes me a little bit more kind of iffed in a way of, y'all had to do this man twice, and y'all had to, like, in Saudi, like, y'all couldn't have done it in America.
Yeah, that's another thing that I didn't understand.
I think it's because they knew how bad it would go over in America. Like, if they thought fans were pissed.
Oh no, fans would have rioted.
Watching,
fans would have rioted.
Yeah, they would have rioted. So I think that's the reason why they did
it would have turned into a Ricky Shane Page, Nick Gage segment from GCW Run Ricky Run, where Ricky Shane Page still went over Nick Gage and fans threw trash, steel chairs, tables. The ring barrier broke from a fan trying to jump the barricade to get into the ring to actually fight somebody. Like that's what it would have turned into. Where
was this?
Run Ricky Run, I believe was.
He's being a stereotypical city.
I think it was in Chicago.
Oh, okay. I was about to say if it's Philly or Boston, I'm like, okay, that doesn't.
Well, fans almost rioted when Ricky Shane Page came into GCW, which was in Philly, and attacked Nick Gage in his hometown. We'll get into GCW in another show.
By the way, just for the heads up, I do have all the match times, like the match lists for
wonderful.
Every match on Saudi Blade Money Part 5.
That's what this podcast is about. Fallacy. And exploiting it because we're angry wrestling fans on this show.
Would you guys like to know the longest singles match on that card?
I'm sure it wasn't anything above 10 minutes.
Do we count the gauntlet match?
No, because it's not a singles match.
The longest singles match on that card was Roman Reigns and King Corbin, who went 12 minutes and 50 seconds.
Oh, wow. A match over 10 minutes. That's fucking surprising for Saudi Arabia shows.
The girls got more. Girls got 11 minutes.
I missed that match. What a shame.
Yeah.
The girls got the girls got a good solid 11 minutes.
Well, that's good. You know what? I'm happy that for 2 Saudi Arabia shows in a row, they had fucking women's matches. I'm really excited for that.
And not only that, this one was a championship.
And it was a championship match this time, which is a huge deal.
Right.
But
we had technically somebody of Hispanic descent versus somebody of African American descent. We had African American versus technically. So we had a Latina, technically a Latina.
Yeah, because Bayley is Latina
for a championship in Saudi Arabia.
Yep.
Think about all those three things.
Yep.
Okay. Let's get into this because
let's just talk about the shit.
Do you know how long? Do you want to know how long the infamous Brock Lesnar Ricochet match on the books officially was?
It was a minute. It was a minute and 20 seconds.
Minute 30 is what I'm saying.
Well, a minute 30, which is still a minute and 27 seconds longer than the Kofi Kingston match.
I'm pretty sure. Like,
thank you, Mad Static, for that one, because that's the truth. God. It is the truth. No, look, they built Kofi up for so long.
That was a match that should Daniel Bryan, and I've said this till the cows come home, should have main event.
It should have.
Mania.
It should have, because no other match would have bested that match on the whole card, and no other match on the card for that WrestleMania did.
Here's the thing: the women could have bested it if they would have done something fresh, or they wouldn't have put all their cards in the table in freaking weeks prior.
Yeah, that's
true. For example, here's the difference between the build-up for the Kofi Bryan match versus the build-up for the girls. Is the Kofi Bryan match did not fully manifest itself and set time done, it's doing happening until a week or two prior to Mania?
I would say about 2 weeks prior to Mania, yeah.
Right. The girls, we do after the most recent pay-per-view. Okay, this is set up. And then they just had to find a way to keep this on the top of our heads for a full month.
Well,
and it just got stale so fucking fast.
Yeah, it did.
My
problem is, segueing back to the Kofi thing, my problem is that they built Kofi up to be this this true champion, because in my opinion, Kofi was the true champion and still should be. Just to have Brock Lesnar come in and beat him in 3 seconds.
Right. I'm happy at least he got a longer reign than Jinder Mahal. If he would have got a shorter reign than Jinder Mahal, I might have had...
No, I would have been really, really fucking pissed off if that happened. Yeah, for sure.
I was like, all right, thank God he beat Jinder.
I wouldn't be as mad as what I am going to be talking about the match that we're going to be talking about next.
Oh my God,
because because the Brock Lesnar and Ricochet match should have just never fucking happened. It just shouldn't have happened. And if it would have happened, it should have happened in Elimination Chamber. It shouldn't have fucking happened in Saudi Arabia. Just being honest. It should have happened at Elimination Chamber.
What's the point of even bringing him all the way over?
Exactly.
By the way,
you flew him. Go ahead.
Was it confirmed that everybody else was able to get back? Because that was
it was confirmed that everybody was able to get back. You are right.
Okay, good. Because I knew that was a big problem everybody was worrying about, was like, oh, after the last time, are they going to be able to get back? Okay, so good. I'm happy about that.
Yeah.
Continue.
Yeah.
Continue.
All right. So we're just going to cut into the shit.
Let's just go. Let's go.
We're just going to cut into the shit, so that way we can get off of this. Off of this, we're just gonna fuck WWE in the ass with no condom right now. That's exactly what the fuck we're going to do.
Oh, dog. Let's go.
WWE and WWE Creative. More importantly, Paul Heyman and Bruce Pritchard.
Fucking choose.
Fucking why? Why? Why the fuck? Out of everything that you could have possibly ever done in the history of pro wrestling, you took your biggest, best, ticket-selling, A, human being in Wyndham Rotunda, and B, in character gimmicks in The Fiend and Bray Wyatt, and you put them through a proverbial fucking paper shredder for under 5 minutes. For under 5 minutes. 4 spears and a sloppy looking fucking jackhammer from Brock Lesnar, and bam, he's Universal Champion. Are you fucking kidding me? You put Bray Wyatt literally on a shelf for what, a year? 8 months to a year. And he built this beautiful piece of art. Beautiful piece of art. Tyson, we'll get into your opinion.
Yeah, no, I think it was just something that I think he was gone from when he got thrown into the Lake of Reincarnation
8 months.
To win the Fireflies Funhouse. So I'm just to give people like a realm of like, okay, when did he leave? When did he come back?
Yep.
The Lake of Reincarnation was the last time we saw him before the Fiend character.
And we're not even gonna talk about that fucking horrible fucking mess.
I'm just gonna let you get back to it. I just want to give people a fan.
8 months. 8 months. Bray Wyatt was gone. Wyndham Rotunda spent 8 months on his couch, just thinking, contemplating, wondering what the fuck he's going to do, because he's even flat out said it in interviews and stuff. He didn't even know if he was going to have a job. And he presented this beautiful piece of art. Donnie, agree with me. This was a beautiful piece of art. The Fiend was a beautiful piece of art.
But are you really surprised?
But we're going to get into that. Just agree with me. This was a beautiful piece of art. You can't deny it.
It's good.
Okay.
It's good.
Tyson?
It's not great.
Tyson?
It was okay. It was for the character, for the time he spent on it, and the work and everything that put into it. It was arguably up there as one of the greatest characters. And once again, I'm putting the characters in a thing of like, I'm thinking about people like Undertaker, Kane, Mankind, Papa Shango, Ultimate Warrior as like characters.
Yes,
it was arguably the greatest of their generation. Of this generation, because by the time 2000 started, Kane was starting to die out. Undertaker still had a little bit of his mistakes, but even he was getting predictable. He went away as the American Badass and came back as the old school Undertaker. But as like characters, he was by far the best since, I gotta say, Ministry Undertaker. Since Ministry Undertaker, probably one of the best characters.
I agree. I completely agree with you. But here's the thing that I have to say about this whole fucking thing. They took a beautiful piece of art that this man spent 8 months creating. He got a mask made by the guy that made all Slipknot's masks. Beautiful. Got his own championship belt when he won the Universal Championship. Not a lot of people liked it. I personally didn't mind because I understood the aesthetic. It wasn't being worn around the waist of the Fiend. It was being worn around the face. It was a mask over a mask, which a lot of people would be like, that's fucking stupid. Well, to those people, I say, fuck you, motherfucker, because you obviously don't understand character building and storyline movement. I do. I get that shit.
Right.
Everything from his promos, the Firefly Funhouse, which, to me, when it released the first episode of the Firefly Funhouse, and I heard Bray speak, I was glued to the television. I couldn't turn away. It was literally like, well, fuck me. I want to see what happens next week, and I would tune in next week.
You know what bought me with the Firefly Funhouse segments?
What was it?
Was prior to when we first officially got introduced to the Fiend itself.
Right.
Was the hinting of it.
Yeah.
You know,
of
the
him.
Gloves.
Hinting of him.
Let me in.
Of this being
like,
that...
remember the first time they mentioned him in third person, like, don't do this, or he's going to come get you, and you just heard everybody like...
Who is he?
And that was it.
What are you talking about? Who is he?
And apparently it was cool because they knew, the characters, like Ramblin' Rabbit and them, they knew who he was talking about, but we didn't. So like, who is this person they're talking about and they're so scared about?
Yeah, who is he?
Like,
what is this?
Right.
And then it was Firefly Funhouse. Episode, I think it was 3.
I thought it was 4, but it might have been
3 or 4. We get introduced to the Fiend.
And it was at the end of it. Like, it wasn't like it was the beginning. It was at the very
it was at the end. And they did a really good job building it. Bray Wyatt Wyndham Rotunda did a really good job building it. And then we get introduced to the Fiend. Bro, I can tell you right now, I haven't been scared of a WWE program since fucking Kane. Right. I'm being dead serious. I have never in my life... I was literally, after seeing the Fiend character and everything about it, and the children taunting in the background, and just everything about it, the aesthetic and the ambience and everything, the mystique, I was like, yeah, I'm not going to sleep tonight.
Right.
That's literally what I said to myself. I'm not going to bed tonight.
I kid you not, I saw it in a dream. Like, I kind of like saw it in like a binge. I was like, it was something that kept me up. It literally kept me up at night because I was just keep watching. I watched the same episode over and over and over again, and I just saw it everywhere. I kid you not. I didn't tell anybody this story, but I remember I was at a gas station. I think it was like the night after Raw or something like that. And I turned around, and I swear to God, I saw the Fiend. I swear to God, I saw the face. I was like,
see, and but here's the thing. That's when you know when you have gold. That right there, that right there, when you have your fans, the people that watch your show religiously, WWE fans, I'm gonna fuck with you for a minute. When you have your fans that watch you religiously and are complete and utter fucking marks for your content and for your programming, and you have them laying in bed at night, scared of the fact of a character that you put on TV every single fucking week, that right there is where you know you need to hit the hammer on the nail. Right then and there. You need to strike the iron when it's hot. I'm sorry to use a fucking cliche-ass line, but I have to. That is when you know. And they did. And it was perfect. And then we get to fucking Saudi Arabia, Blood Money, Part 5, and they have this power-up, 100 overall motherfucker, crank that motherfucker down to 35, level up fucking already 100 overall Goldberg to like level 1,000, and we get a 5-minute squash match.
Okay. Before we dive more into that match, since we're talking about when Fiend arrives, let's go briefly over the rise of the Fiend. Because the rise of the Fiend was truly mystical. And it was something, and honestly, my roommate taught me on something early on that I didn't realize until it happened, was every person the Fiend interacted with changed their character. For example, when the Fiend interacted with Seth Rollins was a babyface at the time. He earned up the hurt, like we saw a lot of the hurt glove.
Mm-hmm.
What did Seth Rollins come out of that feud as? A heel.
Yeah, bro.
he went into a feud with Daniel Bryan, who was a heel at the time.
What
did he come out of that feud with?
Face. Daniel Bryan turned face after that.
And honestly, and we saw it again because Goldberg came into that feud, what?
A face.
Babyface. What is he now?
A heel. That is the premise. That is the premise. Hurt. Yep. Hurt, heel. Like, the premise behind the Fiend's character is to change whoever he is in a feud with.
Wait a minute.
Epiphany.
I just had a thought. I had a thought.
What is your thought?
If we get Cena versus Wyatt,
then we get Thugonomics Cena back. Please, for the love of God.
Does that mean we're going to get fucking heel Cena?
I want a Thugonomics Cena again. Please, for the love of God.
Because how much did we're going to sidetrack real quick. We're going to go down the side street. We're going to get back to the main street. How much did we mark out when we heard the fucking Thugonomics theme at WrestleMania 35?
Bro,
how much did everybody mark out?
Hold up. At the age of 16 years old, being a fan of Eminem for so long,
right?
I knew every single fucking word to the Doctor of Thugonomics theme song from John Cena. No lie.
Like no a broken lie. Needle, kid, you're missing the
point. Every single little wrestling notation that he put in that rap, and all the promos
I had a couple songs from his album. I downloaded songs from his album.
I had both of them. I had both albums. Both of them. Did I play them on repeat? No.
Bad was my favorite.
No, I didn't play them on repeat. Cena.
I'm a bad man.
Yeah. So God. I had both of them. Yeah. But anyway, we're losing focus here.
It's all good.
I'm not mad Goldberg is Universal Champion. I'm not. I'm not mad of the booking. I don't care and not mad about how they built Goldberg up to actually be the person to defeat the Fiend in Saudi Arabia to become Universal Champion. I'm not mad about any of that.
You're just mad at how it happened, basically.
I'm mad of how the match was booked. The match should not have been booked for a 53-year-old man living still in a pipe dream that he has it, regardless how fucking ripped he is. Hold on. Regardless of how fucking ripped he is, coming in knowing he won't go longer than 6 minutes. God forbid we let Goldberg go longer than 6 minutes. And defeat the most over character that you have. Yeah, in modern history. The most over superstar that you have in modern history. For him to lose what was the time on that match? Since you have all the time cards for that?
3 minutes.
Okay.
Even.
3 minutes even, which makes it even worse. You have the Fiend lose in 3 minutes. What? Wait a minute.
To be fair, the longest match on that schedule was 13 minutes, and that was Miz and Morrison in there. And
which, by the way, I did watch that match, and that shit was fucking tag team gold.
I'll say this. I'll play a little bit of devil's advocate because somebody has to.
Yeah, I know.
One of the main reasons why a lot of matches don't go long, because I'm not gonna lie, the conditions in that part of the country are ridiculously hot. Like I'm gonna peep down to UFC logic. They had a fight card in Dubai.
Yes, they did.
I think it was like last year.
They did.
Khabib defended against Dustin Poirier. The level of how fatigued fighters were in that arena. They had fans. They had a cool down room where the locker rooms were like they almost act as locker rooms. They had fans, and even the fans that were in those rooms were not cooling down the fighters enough. Like there were fighters who were literally sweating on their way to the ring, on their way to the cage, and so I kind of understood. I literally just that thought came up. Imagine how hot it was in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia at that time. Even when the sun goes down, it's still ridiculously hot over there. That's the fucking desert, dude. That's the fucking desert. Whatever. Right. So the fact that the fact that the kind of length of the match, like 5 minutes, honestly, there was no business for Goldberg, as old as he was, to be going longer than 6 minutes, regardless of his history, because if a well-tuned athlete, like somebody who's ripped, like I'm just going to say Brian Cage, because he's ripped this motherfucker. Like somebody like that, even a person like that couldn't go longer than 10 because of the amount of stress it puts. Plus, like I said, you're dealing in the ring, you're doing athletic stuff while you're already sweating standing still, you know? So from that standpoint, I understand why WWE said, okay, we got to cut this off quickly, because honest to God, if Goldberg would have put on, if that match would have gone the length it should have, I guarantee you Goldberg, I don't know what kind of health condition, I'm not going to play Goldberg's doctor here, but a man at that age would probably pass out from exhaustion quickly.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree with you. That's for sure.
So if there was any reasoning behind how quickly that match was, I'm going to throw a feather on the cap and say that was probably one of the thought process behind, okay, we got to get this thing wrapped up quickly. So if that's the case, if that was going to be the case, then something else should have probably ended the show.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, honestly, I would have preferred in that situation, hell, The Undertaker winning the gauntlet match probably should have closed the show in that case. You know? Or hell, Roman Reigns versus King Corbin probably should have ended the show in that case. Like, I get the whole thing of wanting to end the show with a championship match, but if you know somebody isn't able to go that long, why would you put them in the main event?
Goldberg was never built to go longer than 5 minutes anyway. Like that. Right. That's the premise behind his character. And you know what? And I'm okay. I'm all right with that. It's whatever, because when Goldberg came in, he was fresh out of fucking getting fired from the Atlanta Falcons. Point blank, period. Like, I don't even care. I'm not even going to hold it, because that's exactly what happened. He came into wrestling off of a fucking whim. He didn't even want to be in wrestling. The only reason why WCW signed him was because they knew they could build him to try and match what fucking Stone Cold Steve Austin was to WWF. That was literally what Goldberg's character was when WCW happened. But
it's the baldness.
Exactly, it's the baldness. You're right. So,
it's gotta be the
but I'm just, oh my God. WWE pisses me off to the point to where I actually want to throw shit at my television, because it's been, oh my God, it's
frustrating.
It's been since the thing is, 2000. I think 2008 is when shit really started to go fucking south for them, because they were getting into this fucking dumbass PG era, which made no goddamn sense. And it still doesn't make fucking sense leading into the new era, which is what it's called now, the new era of WWE, where they're trying to become edgy again, but it's failing absolutely fucking horribly.
I think the reason is because there's still a feint of PG still in there. Like, they don't go that far over the line, but they're still trying to be edgier. Like, it's kind of a weird happy medium they have going on over there. But here's my thing. I don't think it started in 2008. I think really when it started to decline was I think it was the brand split. I think it was when they put the brands together. Because when they came back together, there was a period when WWE was actually back.
You mean the lack of brand split is what happened.
The lack of brand split, yeah. That's what I meant to say. But like, trust me, when they split, when AJ Styles came in 2016, when they split Raw and SmackDown was on fire. Raw wasn't too bad, but it was still better than it is now.
But SmackDown was still whooping that ass.
SmackDown was still better. But I mean, wrestling and that was when Finn Balor came in. That's when so much stuff happened, and it just seems like when they were starting to get traction, it's like, all right, cool, we're getting stuff together. And then something happened. I don't know what happened, but they just went.
Yeah, I don't know what it was.
Down.
And this right here, what happened in fucking Saudi Arabia shows that WWE needs to do one of two things: cancel their fucking shit with Saudi Arabia.
Well, they won't do that, but go ahead.
cancel their shit with Saudi Arabia and worry about fucking probably going to another country. India, maybe. Just saying.
Or Australia, because that show was great.
Yeah, Australia's show was fantastic. The Super Showdown in Australia was great.
That was amazing.
But they either need to do that, shit and get off the pot, or they continue to go down this fucking road and be dumbasses with their fucking shithead ass booking. Oh my god.
Well, to be fair, how much is, because some of the booking over there is also has to do with the Saudi Arabian prince, who literally can end all of them with a whisper and a thought. You know, like because I think one of the reasons why they brought that sumo wrestler that nobody fucking knew into that Greatest Royal Rumble match, I remember I heard it
because they wanted Yokozuna,
but they didn't realize that Yokozuna fucking dead.
They wanted Yokozuna, Hulk Hogan, the Ultimate Warrior, and somebody else.
Right, and that shows how out of touch of wrestling they were.
Right.
So this is kind of them like, and the thing is, Vince is getting enough money he could literally, oh my god, with the stuff he could do with the money he's getting from the Saudi Arabian government. Like, dude, like they're literally paying.
Welcome XFL. Welcome
like,
XFL.
Like the money he has, he's getting from them. He could probably buy, sell WWE like 20 times.
Yeah, probably.
The company itself.
Yeah.
So, as a businessman, I get it. As a businessman, I fucking get it.
But as a wrestling fan,
I fucking don't.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Now I'll say this because I brought this up and I was letting you get your rant here. Do you remember there's a pipe bomb that Paul Heyman laid on Vince McMahon from SmackDown in 2001? Do you remember?
Yeah, I remember that.
Like, and he's basically saying stuff like this. I'm trying to get to a point where at one point he was talking about how Vince considers pro wrestling to be a dirty word. He said, he's like, pro wrestling, he said, you had to have sports entertainment. You had to have sports entertainment. And then he talked about Taz. He said, look at Taz. In ECW, he was a beast. He was a destroyer. He was a conqueror. Now look at him. He's a mediocre commentator. Oh, whatever.
Commentator. Yeah.
Commentator. Thank you. And he said that right there. Taz was sitting ringside. And honestly, I was like, yo, he's right. And honestly, Vince has not changed. Because to Vince, this isn't pro wrestling. This is, say it with me, sports entertainment. And the thing is, and I think that's why people are starting to lose interest, is because it's kind of like a revolution thing. When we first started pro wrestling, people wanted that. They wanted pro wrestling. Like, if we wanted entertainment, we'll watch TV. Then
we'll watch sports.
Then it got into, no, because when it first started, it was just sports. It was just another form of sports. Like, back in the late 70s. But then the characters started building, like, okay, now it's entertainment again. And that revolution carried in. But now we're on the point of where we don't want entertainment, we want professional wrestling. And honest to God, you gotta thank the indie companies for waking us the fuck up about that. Because
Which, by the way, I'll let you finish your thought.
So, because if it wasn't for shows like PWG and the infamous American Legion Branch 308 or whatever the fuck it's called, if it wasn't for PWG, if it wasn't for Ring of Honor, hell, Impact, New Japan Pro Wrestling, I'll give a shout out to Great Britain because I know some people are probably listening in, fucking Progress, Rev Pro, all those people over there. If it wasn't for that, we would not have gotten some wrestlers who are making WWE what it is today. If it wasn't for Ring of Honor, we wouldn't have Samoa Joe and back then it was Tyler Black, but now Seth Rollins. If it wasn't for PWG, we wouldn't have Tommaso Ciampa or Johnny Gargano. If it wasn't for New Japan Pro Wrestling, we would not have AJ Styles or Luke Gallows and Anderson. Like, there's so many people that are making WWE tick right now. There are top stars that we got from independent pro wrestling.
Mm-hmm. Yep, you're right.
Continue, because I'm done with it.
Do you feel better now, sir? Do you feel better now? Okay.
A little bit. It's like when you got out the
Let's go ahead and say fuck WWE for a moment. and get into something that I'm sure Donnie is extremely excited to talk about before he has to dip up out of here. And that's AEW Revolution and predictions.
AEW.
Donnie, me and Tyson, and Ryder here are going to shut the fuck up and let you talk, buddy, because this is your area of expertise. Donnie has been watching AEW since the forefront.
So have I. I went to the first show.
Let's give Donnie a chance to fucking talk too.
Okay. I was at show number 2.
Yes, he was. And he was also on the Jericho cruise.
Nice.
And he was on
Champion.
Yep.
Yeah, Champion's cruise.
All right, so
go ahead, Donnie. Speak. The floor is yours.
AEW Revolution. We got a giant ass fucking match card, bro. They spent 2 months building all of these. Actually, longer than that. They spent since November, since Full Gear, end of Full Gear.
Yeah, since Full Gear ended. Yeah.
Yep. Since the end of Full Gear, fucking building these storylines.
All right,
Donnie,
I have the match card.
Okay, so we're gonna let Ryder go ahead and speak off the match card, and then Donnie, you get first shot at predictions.
Okay,
go ahead, Ryder.
We'll start with what appears to be on the pre-show. We have SoCal Uncensored, Frankie Kazarian and Scorpio Sky, and Chris Daniels taking on the Dark Order, Evil Uno, Stu Grayson, Alex Reynolds, and John Silver. Okay?
All right.
Are we going to make predictions after every time I announce a match, or are we going to wait?
Yeah, we're going to do predictions per match. Yeah.
Okay, so pre-show match, what do you think?
Donnie.
Man, I think the Dark Order is going to win. They've been
really. Wow.
I agree with Donnie.
Because guess whose contract is up March 1st?
Yeah, that's true.
Okay,
that is true.
My roommate has been saying this. I have to get this out because I don't believe it's who everybody thinks it is.
Motherfucker, it's Matt Hardy. It's Matt Hardy.
Okay, and here's my reason. Because if that is true, that he was the plan all along, then that means that he's been secretly signed to AEW, meanwhile in contract negotiations with WWE. Meanwhile, WWE's booking him do this. He's already said, I already got a contract with AEW. I don't think AEW has planned that much. So I think it's somebody, the Exalted One is going to be somebody in their own ranks that they can say, all right, we're comfortable putting on this because it's a guarantee this is going to happen. So therefore, my prediction for the Exalted One is, Christopher Daniels, we get the return of the Fallen Angel.
Oh, that's an interesting side notation. That would be cool, but here's the problem, sir. Actually, no. Because given the match, depending if Christopher Daniels is actually out there at ringside or not, that could actually work. AEW has found a way to swerve us in the past. And
except for Cody and MJF, but we'll get to that later.
That is later, because that shit is going to be...
All right, so I have, by the way, as far as my prediction, I have Dark Order because I have a feeling Christopher Daniels
as my prediction, because I have to be that guy, I'm putting all my money on SoCal Uncensored. Just because I have to be that guy.
The next match is going to be funny, simply because for the first part of the match is going to just be fun, and then the second part of the match is going to be a brutal beatdown. We have Pac versus Orange Cassidy. If anybody has any Orange Cassidy winning, I don't know about you.
Well, then you must not know about me because I have Orange Cassidy winning.
I got Pac. I got Pac. Like I said, I have a feeling to begin the match, you're going to see him duck out of the way. It's going to be fun. And I think once we get into the nitty gritty of this match, Pac's going to fucking murder him.
Bro, Donnie. What is your prediction for this match?
I think it's going to be a real wrestling match. It could be one of the best matches on the card, honestly. I think Orange Cassidy's really going to wrestle this time.
Hey. But who do you have winning, though?
I think Pac's going to win. Pac's going to do he's going to do some heel type shit to win. It's just I don't know. But I think it's going to be a good match.
Okay, so character wise, this is what I'm gonna do character wise. I don't know if you've watched Orange Cassidy on the Indies or not. Only one person in the history of Orange Cassidy's run on the Indies before signing to AEW has ever broke his sunglasses.
And who is that?
I don't remember who he was, nor do I care because the motherfucker got his ass beat.
I actually have to go watch that match. You can find it, send it to me. So
if I can find it, I will send it to you. But it was at a GCW show.
Okay.
So I see Pac, because we all know this. The sunglasses are Orange Cassidy's thing. Freshly fucking squeezed,
right?
Like that's his thing. But we haven't seen Orange Cassidy get mad yet.
Right.
And the sunglasses are sacred. You don't touch the sunglasses. Like, that's just the thing. You don't do that.
Right.
I see Pac breaking his sunglasses in Orange Cassidy just going off.
Ham.
And that's why I picked Orange Cassidy. I could see see Pac doing some foul shit and Orange Cassidy just going off.
So far, you have been the devil's advocate for the first two matches.
Yes,
me
I
and
have.
Donnie have Dark Order, and you have SoCal. Me and Donnie have Pac, and you have Orange Cassidy.
Yep.
So let's see if we're a little bit more aligned on this next match. Once again, going in order. Nyla Rose versus Chris Statlander for AEW Women's World Championship.
Nyla Rose.
Wow.
Nyla Rose. And the only reason why is because they just put the belt on her.
Okay. Donnie?
Well, I mean, it should be Chris Statlander, but they'll probably have Nyla Rose win.
Who you think's going to win?
Who do I think's going to win? Nyla Rose, just based off booking.
So
are you playing devil's advocate now?
I am now playing the devil's advocate. I'm saying Chris Statlander, dude. I'm saying fuck Chris Statlander. Like, I'm not dead ass. Like, honestly...
What they need to do is put Chris Statlander with Orange Cassidy. That's what they need.
Yes,
to do.
they do need to do that. I agree with that. If
Chris Statlander does not win, then God Almighty, the only person I want to see beat Nyla Rose for that title is Hikaru Shida.
I would like to see Shida do that, but we'll get into that after Revolution this weekend.
Believe it or not, like, quick side thing, has Shida not been probably one of the top females who have been busting her ass every single goddamn week?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm playing devil's advocate. I got Chris Statlander and both of y'all got. This next one, oh my God. You say Pac versus Orange Cassidy might be a match tonight. I say this is going to be a match tonight.
Okay.
Darby Allin versus Sammy Guevara.
Okay. What kind of match is that? Is that just a regular wrestling match?
It's a singles match. It's just a singles match.
A singles match. Okay. All right. If it's just a singles match, Sammy Guevara.
Wow.
Why? Because of the fucking Inner Circle. That's why.
Okay. I usually on any other night I would agree with you, but it seems like tonight, on that night, I think the Inner Circle might have their hands full because honestly most of them have matches. The only team that doesn't have a match is Ortiz and Santana.
Which is why I say Guevara.
True.
So
Donnie, before I get my prediction, Donnie, who you think?
Man, I'm going with the Spanish guy, Sammy Guevara.
See?
Based off the fact that
I played the devil's advocate for the second time in a row.
Wow.
I got Darby simply because Sammy Guevara is cannon fodder, in my opinion. Honestly, when's the last time he's won a match without any help?
That's the thing, though. But that's the thing, though. That's the whole premise of it.
Anyway, I say Darby Allin
because he's got the tutelage of La Champion. You know? Sammy's got a great teacher, and he's a Spanish guy. I mean, look at the guy.
But Darby will not die.
That is true. Darby Allin to me is if Deadpool and Punisher were mixed together as a pro wrestler. That is Darby Allin.
God, yes.
Okay, so anyway, what's the next match?
Back to back. I'm playing devil's advocate. Next match, I think we're all gonna have the same one on this one. Jake Hager versus Dustin Rhodes.
Dustin Rhodes.
Go ahead, Donnie.
Going with the big hurt.
Oh man!
Jake Hager.
Now it's back on you. You're the devil's advocate. I'm taking the big hurt, Jake Hager.
No, I'm fucking with y'all. It is gonna be Jake. It is. It's because it's his first match. It's his first debut match. He's gonna go over Dustin.
As long as they stay away from the goddamn Dippin' Dots.
Yeah, I just wanted to see what you guys would say if I said Dustin Rhodes, thinking that I actually meant that shit. I didn't mean that shit.
Dude, my eyes went wide as fuck when you said that. I was like, really?
Bro.
Salt on the Dippin' Dots is not called for.
I swear to God, if we do not have a Dippin' Dots tray at ringside, I'm going to be mad. If we don't have a Dippin' Dots tray at ringside, I'm going to be mad.
Yeah, true.
For the love of God, stay away from the Dippin' Dots.
They should have a Dippin' Dots match. They had a Cracker Barrel match.
Yeah, they had a Cracker Barrel match. You're right.
Please.
Dippin' Dots match.
So
first person to stuff the person's face in a Dippin' Dots machine wins.
I would love that. I hope AEW we could see a lot more gimmick matches. Anyway, Kenny next, the first title match. Oh no, second title match on the card. Kenny Omega and Adam Page versus Young Bucks. Who you guys got? Because I have a prediction and a theory.
Okay, I have a prediction and a theory too.
Okay, I have a feeling me and you are gonna be equal on this
one. Can we have Donnie go first then?
Yeah, let's have Donnie. We'll throw Donnie under the bus.
You want me to go first?
Yeah, I want you to go first.
Man, I mean, Hangman probably win the match by himself. He doesn't even need Kenny, honestly. He won the tag belts pretty much by himself. He's been carrying that team. But, I think the Young Bucks are going to come out victorious because, Kenny's going to end up carrying. He's going to weigh Hangman down. He's going to weigh him down in the end. He's just been dead weight.
I'm gonna have to agree with Donnie, and I feel that the Young Bucks are gonna win.
Donnie?
I have a feeling that the Young Bucks are gonna win due to fuckery.
Yep, I think me and Chris have the same theory.
Due to
Adam
fuckery.
Page turns on the Elite.
That is not my theory.
Wow.
That is not my theory. I am actually the complete opposite of you, because if it wasn't for the Bucks isolating Adam Page in the first place, the Bucks get a heel turn. The Bucks turn on Kenny and fucking Adam. And Kenny is the only person to try and get Adam off of his alcoholism and try and get him back into pro wrestling shape. Because if it wasn't for the Bucks, and I know this is how I feel that they're going to sway it. If it wasn't for the Bucks, Adam Page wouldn't be turning to drinking. It's just my fucking opinion. That's how I feel about it. I feel that the Bucks are going to have the heel turn, not Adam.
I say, and the reason why I'm going to say Adam Page is because, honestly, who has more to gain via a heel turn, the Young Bucks or Page? The reason why I say Adam Page is because the Young Bucks turning heel, it'll be cool, but thing is, it's something like they're already the face of the company. Their family has been well noted and stuff like that. It's just they're too much fan favorites. But then again, honestly,
we saw that swerve even better.
Because honestly, I just got reminded of the infamous Bash at the Beach in '96 with Hulk Hogan.
That is true.
The biggest babyface in history turned heel.
Yep.
I still say Page because I just think right now Page as a heel turn, just going on a tirade of cowboy shit and just taking out the Elite just sounds better.
So with that being said,
at least we all have the Bucks. We all have the Bucks.
Yeah, we all have the Bucks. But with that being said, let's go ahead and touch on that for a minute. For a prop thing,
you know what's going to happen?
Donnie, go ahead.
The Bucks will win the match, and them two and Kenny are going to go heel, and Page is going to be the babyface.
Oh, that's interesting. So you have a feeling of the Elite turning.
The cleaners coming out.
I agree because I don't think the Bucks will turn heel on Kenny. They're too good of friends.
Yeah.
All three of them are going to turn
if anything, the heel turn's going to come. It's either going to be Page by himself, or it's going to be the Bucks and the Omega.
Yeah.
Cowboy shit is going to be babyface, and the fucking.
Oh
Kenny's
my God, they're going to be t-shirts.
And they're going to have a match, and Kenny's going to be the heel.
Yep. I can see that. I could totally.
And we've all been wanting to heel Kenny for a while.
Heel, but I think in the end, the other three are going to turn on him.
Double or nothing. The Cowboy, Adam Page versus the Cleveland.
I think that's what's going to happen.
Book it. I want it now.
Yeah,
I want it now.
Take my money. Take my money.
Okay. All right. So now we get into our co-main events, if you will.
Okay.
This is the match we've all been waiting for. MJF with Wardlow taking on Cody with Arn Anderson. No stipulation has been added yet, so I guess it's just going to be a regular singles match.
Yeah. I mean, I can't believe I got to answer this question. You know, I mean, MJF's the face of AEW, obviously. You know what I'm saying? He's better than everybody, and they know it. So he's easily going to win this match.
I'm sorry, I almost popped the gasket right there, Donnie. I'm sorry.
Cody deserves it. Cody deserves it for trying to hold down MJF because he knew he was really the face of the company. You know what I'm saying?
Donnie the heel right now. Donnie the heel right now. They feel commentated right now.
Cody's just a spotlight hog. You know what I'm saying? He's an attention whore, and he's just jealous of the fact that MJF's the fastest, youngest rising star in the business.
Donnie, I gotta ask. When we open the door to your house, how many MJF sex toys are we going to find in there? Are we going to be disappointed, or are we going to be impressed by the number?
I'm just stating the facts. You know what I'm saying? You gotta look at the facts, and the fact is that MJF is better than us, and we know it.
And you know what? I'm not gonna play devil's advocate today. I'm not gonna play devil's advocate because Ryder, MJF is better than you, and you know it.
Well, how could this happen?
MJF is taking that fucking victory, dog. Point blank and period.
Oh my God. I'm gonna play devil's advocate on this one because honestly, Cody with Arn Anderson in the corner,
bro,
has been amazing.
That fossil fuel.
Yeah, right? Fucking salted the earth, bro. Salted the earth.
Hey, dude. Don't sweat on the Horseman, man. He'll spot and bust you back out.
No lie, bro. No lie, bro. I would let MJF take 5 minutes to just roast me. I would let him. I would just let him.
Oh.
I would. I am one of them guys, bro. I'm being dead serious with you. MJF is the salt of the earth. He's better than all of us, and we know it. We just need to accept it. That's at the point that we're at right now.
Can I get something off my chest when it comes to MJF?
Go ahead.
I don't believe, in my opinion, he's not a big of like, I hate you heel, as a lot of people say he is. In my opinion, he's just like an annoying, oh my God, go away heel.
No.
Like he's like a Baron Corbin heel to me.
Here's the thing.
He hasn't done anything to piss me off.
Wait a minute. Time out.
Hold on. Bring that back. Don't ever put MJF in the same sentence as crappy Baron Corbin. He's the worst wrestler in the business today.
Literally?
He's the worst wrestler on the
Baron
WWE roster.
Baron Corbin.
He's 20 minutes of chin locks.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. MJF's a better heel than Baron Corbin. He's a better wrestler and a better heel than Baron Corbin.
Absolutely.
But when I see MJF on the screen,
MJF gets way more heat than Baron Corbin. He gets way more heat.
Like I said, I'm honoring opinions. I'm just saying, in my opinion, that's why I said I'm going to probably get heat for this. In my opinion, when I see MJF on the screen talking, I get the same reaction as when I see Baron Corbin on the screen talking. Oh my God, shut up and go away.
But that's the difference.
Off my screen.
But that's the difference between MJF though and Baron Corbin is that MJF has flat out said on numerous podcasts, quoting his interview with fucking Stone Cold Steve Austin though, when I go home at night, I want down, please.
I didn't mean to.
Sorry. That is my lovely fiance in the background watching TikTok.
Technical difficulties.
It's okay. For the fact that I get to go home and sleep at night to other people being like, I really hate that guy, I want that. MJF has flat out said that.
And honestly, here's the thing. Don't get me wrong. Once again, I respect, and that's why I said MJF is a greater hero than Baron Corbin. It's just, like I said, it's just my personal opinion. I don't hate him as more of I'm annoyed by him. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that he isn't one of the top heels. I'm just saying, in my personal opinion, I have different opinions than a lot of people. In my personal opinion, I don't hate him. You know, a heel, honestly, I'm trying to think of the heel. Matter of fact, you know what heel I absolutely hate? Like, I want to, like, piss in their face if I see him in person.
Besides Ted DiBiase?
No. The two people, like, that had me raging at 2 o'clock in the goddamn morning, Kenta and motherfucking Jay White. Those are more, for those, I have legit, I want to put my fist through the wall.
That is completely understandable. That is understandable.
With them. As far as, like, but MJF, it's just, I want to walk away from him.
Donnie actually had the chance to have an interaction with MJF. Donnie. Is MJF the type of heel where you just want to be like, I fucking hate you type of guy? Like,
well, he lives it. I mean, shit, he's MJF 24/7. I mean, the guy's a straight asshole. I mean, I love it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because shit, I'm the same way. I ain't forget about it.
That is true.
We finally got one.
That is true. We got one. We got one.
We're
gonna do a counter on every single time that Donnie says "forget about it" on this podcast.
Yeah, definitely.
That's what
definitely.
we're gonna do. All right. So final match.
Now we come to the main event, the moment we've all been waiting for, ladies and gentlemen. Le Champion, Chris Jericho, defends against the biggest defector to AEW since its inception, Jon Moxley.
Okay, so I want to go first on this one.
For the AEW World Championship.
Yeah, I want to go first on this one. If they don't put fucking Jon Moxley over, there is no chance for Jon Moxley to gain a championship ever in his career. I'm just being dead honest with you.
I agree.
If Moxley does not go over in this match, Donnie has a separate opinion, and I'm sure we're going to hear it. Jon Moxley has to win this match. He just has to. He has to go over. And in my opinion, I feel that he will. They've built him up unscripted violence. They built him up to be that against company guy when he was feuding with Kenny Omega, putting him into that unsanctioned match, which
he's the Stone Cold.
Yeah. And
he's the Stone Cold of
AEW. What have we learned about Stone Cold in the past? Motherfucker goes over.
Always.
Jon Moxley needs to beat Chris Jericho here. He just does. So, my opinion,
okay, Donnie, go.
Jon Moxley.
Go, Donnie. Go, Donnie. Go, because I can hear him.
Yeah, because I can hear him chuckling in the background.
The winner of the match is going to be Le Champion.
See,
Chris
here
Jericho,
we go.
because Lance Archer is going to screw Jon Moxley.
Ooh.
And they're going to have another match.
That is true. I could see that happening.
I think Lance Archer is going to show up at the main event, and he's going to screw over Jon Moxley.
It's already been announced and signed.
So I just don't think they're going to put the belt on Moxley yet.
Here's the thing. Here's my take on it, and here's the reason why I do believe they will. But then again, he does make a point. If
he does.
Archer screws Moxley, then I'll disagree with your point. I believe this opens the door. This keeps the window of opportunity open for Moxley to win that title eventually.
That is true.
Just not now. Here's the thing. If Moxley loses clean, then the door is closed. If he loses via interference, then the door is still open.
Well,
however, I still believe Moxley will go over simply because of how long are you going to wait for the biggest payoff since goddamn Double or Nothing? Like the very first pay-per-view ended with Moxley standing above the chips. It went off the air. Matter of fact, that freaking picture of him, I can give you evidence of it later on. That freaking picture of him standing above the chips is my literal laptop background, and it still is from that night. And that's how the first pay-per-view ended. It didn't end with Jericho, even though he won the last match of the night. It didn't end with Jericho. It ended with Moxley. So I'm thinking this is if he doesn't go over, how long are you going to wait for the biggest star since AEW started to get to the top? How long are you going to wait?
The next Double or Nothing. That's when he's going to win the belt.
God damn, shut up,
Donnie. No, but here's the thing. No, I agree with Donnie. I do agree with Donnie on that, because let's look at it like this, okay? If we want to use pro wrestling logic as we know, because we do know, a lot of big reigns start and end in the same city. They just do.
Right.
Jericho picked up the belt at Double or Nothing. In Chicago.
No, he picked up it.
No.
All out.
Yeah, at All Out in Chicago. He picked up the belt there. Right. In Chicago. Okay?
Right.
But here's the thing. Revolution is in Chicago.
Donnie.
So, I mean...
Donnie.
The same thing's going to happen. Le Champion is going to walk out.
He's still on it, bro.
Donnie's just doing this for the sake of it now. No, I don't think he believes it. I think he's just doing it.
No, I think Donnie believes it. But that's okay, though, because
Chris Jericho is the most important sign of AEW. Chris Jericho is more important than Jon Moxley.
That motherfucker will never get me to say thank you to him. I'm sorry.
Chris Jericho is a global superstar.
I'll say this.
That was a mistake.
The time we do a podcast after that, we will have so much shit to talk about.
Oh, we're going to cover fucking Revolution. We're going to cover Revolution next week because I am sticking to it, and I've said it, and I'm sticking to it. Besides
My
NXT,
predictions are going to be 100% true. You know what I mean?
I don't
I'm
know
one of them
about all
local
that,
psychics.
mister. I think that I'm Dave Meltzer. Don't even fucking go there. Anyway,
Oh man,
I'm sticking to it. I'm done watching WWE main roster for now. I will watch Elimination Chamber, and I will watch WrestleMania. But I'm done watching WWE
doesn't matter
main
how
roster
much
for
you
now.
hate it. You got to watch WrestleMania. That's just
I have to watch WrestleMania. It's just because I'm a wrestling fan. But I'm gonna start watching NXT. I'm gonna start watching the AEW live. So every Wednesday I will be watching AEW live, and then I will watch NXT on the playback on Fridays when it gets put onto the network because I'm not canceling my subscription. So
let's change gears here, if it will. I mean, I'm asking on behalf of Chris. Do you mind if we change gears for a second?
let's go ahead.
So we all know we are big WWE fans here. Well, former WWE fans, I guess, whatever. So I want to ask a question: what wrestling do you guys watch outside of WWE? Like I said, we've covered AEW, but what outside of like the bigger brands do you guys watch and say, "Yo, I actually enjoy this. This is actually pretty fun."
Well, me and Donnie might actually have an agreement on that. Donnie, did you watch MLW this week?
The one from a couple days ago?
Yeah.
I have been behind on MLW. I have to get caught up.
Bro, you need to get caught up on that shit.
Yeah.
I watched
And it was. I stopped watching Timber because like I just ran out of time to like every time I'm like sit down
slacking.
for it.
Stop
Every time
slacking.
I
You're
sit
on a
down
pro
for
wrestling
it.
podcast now. Stop slacking. You need to watch MLW. Anyway.
Go watch the Dynasty, you know what I'm saying? Come
Yeah, bro. Like,
I'm
if
not
you
gonna
want
lie,
to
I
see
like the
MJF's,
Dynasty.
if you want to see MJF's best work, like he does really good work in AEW, but in my opinion, his best work as a heel is with the Dynasty on MLW.
I think the last MLW Fusion show I watched was right before the Von Erichs match with Tom Lawler in Dallas. I think that was the last Fusion.
Which
I
was
watched.
a really that Fusion was really, really good.
Yeah,
it really was.
I think you might have to like feed to my vision.
Yeah, well,
You know what? No, matter of fact, I know how long ago fucking I watched Fusion. Ready? Guess who was the world champion last time I watched Fusion?
Who?
Fucking Low Key.
Oh yeah, no, that was a long time ago.
That's how far back I am.
God damn,
But
dude.
don't get me wrong, I've kept up touch with it. It's not like I don't know exactly what's
Right.
going on. I've kept touch with it. Like I've watched highlights and stuff like that. But I
Right.
haven't sat down and watched the full Fusion show. since then.
This right here is why I hate MJF. Donnie, I'm gonna have to say this right now. Fuck MJF. Mance Warner all the fucking way, bro. I'm sorry to say
Oh
it.
my god, I have fallen in love with Mance Warner.
Whoa.
I'm a Mance Warner
Light beers
fucking
and Larry,
mark,
baby.
bro.
Vance Warner is nothing but an inbred hillbilly hick, you know what I'm saying?
But
Light beers
listen,
and lariats.
but listen,
you got
hang
an
on,
offer of a lifetime, and
Bro.
he deserved a beatdown.
bro. Light beers and lariats, bro. Don't even fucking get me started on Mance Warner because the match that got me hooked on Lance for an MLW Fusion show was that barbed wire fucking no rope barbed wire match that he had against fucking Jimmy Havoc.
Vance
Man,
Warner
I
should
have to
drink
watch that
coffee.
match.
He should drink
I
an
heard how bad
espresso.
it was
You know?
when
Forget
we watched
about it.
And
That's two.
MJF should take his own dick, remove it from his pelvis, and stick it up his own ass. That's just my opinion. I'm just being dead honest with you. I'm sorry.
Shoot. We
Just
beam
being dead
down the
honest
scope.
with
Shoot. Bang,
Pew,
bang.
pew.
Okay.
Pew, 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 pew.
Vance Warner couldn't be anybody that's in the dynasty. Forget
You know,
about
I
it.
was,
He
I would love for us
changed.
to have, like, a
He
little sound
changed
effect.
fucking. What's his name? That they were calling him fucking Gorgon or whatever. That they had helping
Brogan.
him. Yeah, whatever. That's not his name though. That's just what they called him. He fucking opened his eyes. Look at where he's at now. This past MLW Fusion show was great. He squashed some other dude. I don't know who it was, but
my
it was a good show.
favorite Mance Warner moment I've seen recently, I want to see if I can find it on there, was when he was interviewing. They said, what's your take on, what is it? What's your take on the dynasty? He just went like this. He just went, took a sip of the beer.
Yeah.
MJF's an asshole. Took took a sip of the beer and walked off. Like, I was like, okay. At that moment, like, I already liked him, but at that moment, I'm like, he's my favorite. He's my favorite. Done. Like, he is my favorite. Like, I can't find that fucking interview anywhere. I'm pissed off now.
So is MJF. Listen, bro.
MJF in the Dynasty's gonna take care of him. You know what I'm saying? Forget about it. They got the AirPod God. Come on, they got Hammer Stone.
You know one person in Dynasty I do like? You know one person I do like in the Dynasty I've seen a little bit of and I want to see more of because I don't really know much about him. Alex Hammerstone. Alex Hammerstone intrigues me.
Yeah, he intrigues me too. Yeah, he is a beast. He is a beast. He's good on the mic.
Honestly, since I've been watching, my favorite people, I love Injustice. I don't know why I love Injustice.
Oh my god. I would prefer Contra over Injustice, bro, to be honest with you. Yeah.
I like I'm a fan of Alex Hammerstone. I like Tom Lawlor because I'm an MMA fan myself. So when I first saw Tom Lawlor, I'm like, oh shit, Tom Lawlor. Okay, what's up?
Which his character work recently has been fantastic. It's been really good.
Like, that's what got me into MLW in the first place because I heard about this Team Filthy thing and I was like, oh my god, they actually use like UFC ring gear. They walk out like the Gracie family. Like as an MMA fan, like that got me, that twiddled my fingers a little bit. You know, I was like, ooh, I like this. This is pretty cool. So, but yeah, like MLW is something that I don't watch because simply I don't have time, but it's not like I'm not paying attention to it. I follow him on Instagram. I'm fully aware of him.
Yeah.
However, a wrestling organization that I have followed, honestly, recently, my friend has, me and my roommate. Have you guys followed Stardom? Have you guys heard of Stardom? Or at least watched them?
I love Stardom. That's how I got into Bea Priestley.
So we got into it. I think we started getting into it weekly on their most recent tag league, and we fell in love with who we call our goddess, Kagetsu. Kagetsu is our favorite.
Kagetsu is a fucking monster. She really is a monster. She's so good.
We literally cried when we found out that she retired. We literally cried.
Yeah, I know.
We were like sitting in the room. But no, honestly, I've been following it, and it is amazing. It's amazing who's come out of there. Like, I'm going to name a couple stars. For those who are listening, don't know who's come out of Stardom. Tony Storm.
Yep.
Io Shirai.
Yep.
Kairi Sane.
Yep.
Piper Niven.
Yeah.
Piper Niven has come out of there. Hell, Chelsea Green was even over there at one point.
So was Ivelisse.
Ivelisse.
Who else was over in Stardom for a while? Chris Statlander. She was in Stardom for a while. So
that organization, and the thing is, the way they do things is kind of weird because of, like, the factions there kind of... I mean, the factions there are kind of cool. I personally love... can we agree that Oedo Tai is the best faction in Stardom?
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Oedo Tai is by far the best. Right? They have a very Bullet Club vibe to me, in person.
Well,
I think
that's the cool thing that I like about Stardom because it's literally New Japan for women. That is exactly what it is. That's what it literally is. They have factions,
they have tournaments, they have everything.
Yep.
It is dope. One person who I have not paid attention to much, but I need to because I've been falling behind on them, is the new woman, Julia, who came in. Because she came in, and by God, she's already got her own faction now. Like, Jesus, she took off running.
Right.
I mean, hell, Stardom was on Wrestle Kingdom card.
Yes,
they were on one of the pre-show matches.
Yep.
And by the way, one of the funniest moves I've seen in Stardom was when Mayu first challenged Mayu. I keep saying that wrong. First challenged me for the red belt. And because you already know Mayu has a very dopey face. We already know this.
Yeah.
He's just very dopey face. So when B held up the title and said, "You want to challenge for the red belt?" Mayu just said in a straight face, "Yes." Straight face, yes. And I was like, oh my God, I love her. She's like up and down nodded, yes.
Okay, so me and Donnie have something that we agreed on. You talked about Stardom. So let me go ahead and get into my passion for a moment when it comes to pro wrestling.
Okay.
And remember how I said in the beginning of the show that we were going to talk about GCW? Mm-hmm. Well, now here's the segment of the show where we get into deathmatch wrestling.
Well, speak to me because I am not familiar in that frame of wrestling.
Love with the bottom of my heart. I have been to 2 CZW shows and have been watching GCW religiously since its inception. I love deathmatch wrestling. My love for deathmatch wrestling. I want to take you guys a trip down history lane real quick. Just bear with me.
I'm buckling up. I'm buckled up. Buckle up. Let's go.
So, on the highway to Deathmatch Wrestling as we know it today, our first stop is ECW. Mm-hmm. When ECW first came out and Shane Douglas became the champion and did that fire promo, and he was just like,
they can all kiss.
And they can all kiss my ass, and threw the belt down.
Drew the title down.
That right there alone had me like, well, I'm invested.
Right.
I was 10 years old. No, I was younger than that. I was 7. I was 7 years old. 1997 was my very, very first televised watching on some fuckwit channel in the middle of the fucking night, 1 a.m., because that was the only TV time they could get. Watching ECW, my very first ECW match that came across my screen was Sabu versus Taz. Before Taz was Taz, he was known as the Tasmanian Devil or some shit like that. So that was my first match that I ever watched. And man, there was chairs, there was kendo sticks, there were tables, there was shit getting lit on fire in that episode from the Dudleys. And that was my first introduction to the Dudleys. And I was like, who the fuck are these people? Dudley Boys was my shit. I'm sorry, it just was. So from there, after ECW ended, I was trying to find an alternative because my favorite death match from ECW was the Taipei death match between the Rotten Brothers. That was my favorite death match of all time that I've ever seen. These guys wrap their hands in tape, dip their fists in glue, and then dip their fists in glass, and beat the holy shit out of each other. And the feud leading up to that point was intense. It really was. Then I found out what CZW was. Insert Zandig. Man and Necro Butcher. Bro. These two dudes solidified what deathmatch wrestling meant for me. And I just fell in love. I did. Everything that they did, the whole product for CZW when it first originally came out, their pay-per-views. They have a pay-per-view called Cage of Death, where it's literally a wire cage, and it's layered in panes of glass, thumbtacks, light tubes, tables, lighter fluid, lighters, and a whole bunch of shit. Pretty much everything but the kitchen sink. Actually, no, I take that back. One Cage of Death, one year they actually brought out the kitchen sink, so I take that back. And I loved every last minute of it. There's another podcast I listen to, and I want to give a shout out to a lot of them, because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have the fucking creative tuition to actually do a podcast myself. Predetermined to Pro Wrestling Podcast, man, I love you guys. You don't even understand what your podcast means to me. You guys are absolutely fucking hysterical, and now I'm going to stop marking out. I just put in a watch-along request, because they do those. If you give them a 5-star review and then put something in the comment in the review, you can request a match and they'll watch it. I requested a match which is by far my favorite death match of all time to date. And that is it's the triple threat Cage of Death 19 between Ricky Shane Page, Joe Gacy, and Shane Strickland, who we now know as
Isaiah
Swerve Scott in NXT. A lot of people don't know that. Shane Strickland was a deathmatch wrestler.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I was like, really?
Yeah, if you look at his pictures on his Instagram, the picture of his back, all those scars, the majority of those scars came from that Cage of Death match. The majority of them. There was a spot in this match where Ricky Shane Page and Shane Strickland were on top of a scaffolding that was connected to the top of the cage, because the only way to win is by pinfall. You can't climb over the cage or anything else like that. It doesn't count as anything. They were on top of the scaffolding and fell through not one, not two,
by the way,
not 3, but 4 panes of glass. 4. Now, I've heard Stone Cold Steve Austin's podcast with Ricochet and Page. He said that going through glass, it's tempered glass. It's meant to break. You know what I mean? And the glass itself doesn't initially cut you. It's the small shards that do.
Right.
I've seen a man almost die at a deathmatch show because he got his armpit artery severed due to a light tube fucking incident. Nick Gage, who is in a feud with Ricochet Page right now in GCW, which is what I'm going to get ready and get into now.
I'm gonna just ask a side question real quick.
Go ahead.
How many people has there been any confirmed fatalities due to a death match?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
No.
So for those people wondering, like, oh my God, why you watch that people die? Nobody's officially died.
The term death match came from Japan. All Japan Pro Wrestling, Big Japan Pro, or Big Japan Wrestling, those two and FMW were the main three promotions for the Exploding Ring death match. They were also the first ever no rope barbed wire match happened in FMW, and it was actually between Abdullah the Butcher and Sabu. I know. If I'm wrong, somebody go ahead and let me know on Instagram, but I'm just saying that's what I remember. I could be wrong, but so yeah, that's literally it. That's where the term came from.
GCW.
Nobody has ever died in a death match that I know of. So, but back to GCW. So, you want to talk about heel work, Donnie, with MJF? Don't get me wrong, MJF is up there. Ricky Shane Page, he's a completely different type of heel. He's that... Okay, so I'm sure that all of us have interacted with a guy like this that I'm going to describe. Imagine a guy that listens to nothing but hardcore music, and I'm talking like Bring Me the Horizon and like post-hardcore.
Okay.
Goes to shows all the time, and just has this foul smirk on his face constantly.
Oh, God.
Okay? Carries himself like a douchebag.
Because he is one.
Because he is one. That is Ricky Shane Page. Wow. Literally Ricky Shane Page right now. And it has come to the point to where, like I said in the beginning of the show, Ricky Shane Page came into GCW for the sole purpose of just sticking it to Nick Gage.
Wow.
There's a promo that I will send to both of you guys in our group chat on Instagram that you have to watch. And it is by far some of the best heel work in a promo I have seen from anybody since MJF. I'm just being dead honest with you. But yeah, that's the main feud right now going on. But they have other people over there too. Chris Statlander just had a match against who did she face?
GCW. Is that same? No.
Game Changer Wrestling is the actual name of the promotion. But Chris Statlander was in GCW. Orange Cassidy came from GCW and freelance.
Right.
So, same thing with Darby Allin came from Defy. But Darby Allin was also in CZW and GCW and in freelance.
He does strike me as that person. Like if you told me
Darby Allin is a deathmatch wrestler. He's a hardcore wrestler.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
It doesn't surprise me either, especially what he did with the Cracker Barrel at fucking Full Gear.
God, fucking
just
coffin
saying.
Drop.
Yeah, and he ate that whole coffin drop too.
Did.
So that's the main feud going on right now is Ricky Shane Page and Nick Gage.
Nice.
There's really no other big feud in GCW, just a bunch of random shit.
Right, and that's the one thing I do like about independent wrestling is most companies like that, they have two people that are like that are theirs.
Yep.
And most of the time they just bring in other people just to build the show up. And that's not entirely bad because it gives people it gives contractors, like most of these wrestlers, that's the thing a lot of people don't know about most of these independent wrestlers. Most of them are people who literally work day jobs.
Yeah.
They don't work day jobs and they just say, hey, we got a show coming up this weekend. Do you want to be on it? Like one wrestler I follow on Instagram because I actually know his girlfriend, fiance. I don't know if they're married yet. Have you ever heard of Facade?
Yes, I know who Facade is. I follow him on Instagram too. Yep.
Yeah. His girlfriend, I actually briefly worked at a racing camp in Southern Virginia with years ago. So I am familiar with them. And I followed his career. And matter of fact, I can't wait for AEW to just scoop him up because he's prime for taking. He's had matches. For those who don't know, he has had matches against guys like Matt Hardy, AJ Styles. He's actually had multiple matches against AJ Styles. He's wrestled almost. I want to say there's not a country in the world he hasn't wrestled in because it seems like every day he's wrestling in another country. Like AEW, he is a guy who would, and he would be amazing. He would be amazing babyface for AEW, especially because they are really good with spots. He is a spot fest master. Like there's some stuff sometimes watch what he's doing. I'm like, how the hell can a human being do that? Like he reminds me of a white Phoenix.
Okay.
Like his rope work is very similar to Phoenix. Matter of fact, I would love to see him in a match together.
Let me actually go ahead and ask Donnie. Donnie, is it Phoenix or Phoenix?
Phoenix.
It's Phoenix.
Okay.
Just wanted to go ahead and throw that out there.
I think he's the best wrestler on the planet, honestly.
To be honest with you, I really agree. I do agree with that.
I don't know if best wrestler, but I can definitely say best luchador on the planet.
He does stuff I've never seen before.
Right. But think about for me, this is my categories for a wrestler. Is just somebody who just everything about what they do is just all inspiring. Don't get me wrong, Phoenix has great moves, but thing is like, what is he outside of that? You know, can he go through a grueling match? For example, you know who I personally believe is the best wrestler on the planet today?
Who?
Kazuchika Okada.
I would like to disagree with you on that.
But once again, opinions are opinions.
Yes.
Reason why, because when I watch him in a match, I'm just become all inspired. His entrance is inspiring.
Oh no, his entrance is by far one of the best fucking entrances I've ever seen in any pro wrestling.
He's the only person who could change the tide of a match with a fucking drop kick.
Yeah, that's true.
Name somebody else who could and then the way you think he's out of it, he comes right back into it. For example, I thought he was out of it in the Kota Ibushi match. The Kota Ibushi versus him at Wrestle Kingdom Night 1, I thought he was done. I was like, there's Kota. Kota's going to go over. Like, this is it. Especially when Kota did that, my favorite part of the match, when he just did not care and he just did open palm strikes to him. Remember when he's like stone face? Yeah. I thought, okay, this is where Okada goes over. And then he came back in that match. And what I love about him is his facial reactions. Because you can tell when he's there and you can tell when he's not. There's not a lot of wrestlers who you can do that with. There's not a lot of wrestlers that you can say, okay, he's still there. Okay, he's gone. He's going to lose.
I have somebody I can put on that list too, by the way.
It's just, but let me just finish my point now.
Go ahead.
I put Ibushi on that list.
Yeah, I put Ibushi on that list too.
But I mean, just everything about his thing, and in fact, like I understand why he's been New Japan's golden boy for years. It's because his ring work is good. Even his promo, even though I can't speak Japanese, his body language says what he's saying without me understanding what he's saying.
Yeah, that's true.
Like I can read his body language because his body language is really easy to read, and it's amazing. Like just everything about him is amazing. Like I watched one of my favorite matches I've ever had him. The three favorite matches I've seen him was the draw in the downpour with Minoru Suzuki. Has anybody, if you have not watched that match, go fucking watch that match.
If anybody has not seen that match, you guys are slipping. You should actually go watch that.
That was one of the greatest matches.
Okada and Suzuki.
The draw in the downpour.
Yeah. Okada and Suzuki by far are some of the best workers in the business to date. That's actually one of the ones that I could put on that list too.
Another great match I'll put on my top three favorite Okada matches is him versus Shibata.
Yeah,
him versus Shibata, and the infamous moment where they're both crisscross applesauce in the middle of that ring, just slapping the shit out of each other.
Yep, agreed.
Just slapping the dog shit out of each other. And then finally, another one of my favorite matches from him has to be, honest to God, it has to be him versus Ibushi this year. That match versus Ibushi was fucking phenomenal. And notice I did not put Kenny Okada match in there because, don't get me wrong, that match was good, but it doesn't attach up to the moments that those other matches created.
I completely agree with you.
I'm done. Who do you guys believe is the best wrestler in the world today? Like, as of right now, the best wrestler in the world?
Austin Theory.
Wow.
Explain, because let's go ahead and get into Austin Theory real quick. I've been watching Austin Theory since
for people who don't know who he is.
I've been watching Austin Theory since Evolve. And if you guys don't watch Evolve, you should definitely watch Evolve. WWE Evolve, even though it's a feeder company for WWE, because a lot of Evolve and Shine talent eventually does go to WWE because they get NXT contracts. Austin Theory, his facial expressions, the way he can work a promo, his whole gimmick about him, Mr. All Day, everything from his athleticism to his age. The kid is 22 years old. He's younger. He's younger than MJF. This man.
He's younger than Tony Storm, I believe, right?
No, Tony. Yeah, he's younger than Tony. Yep. Yes, he is. This man has so much potential to become something huge for NXT to build their brand around. They've done it with Finn Balor. They've done it with Johnny Gargano. They're doing it now with Adam Cole. They've done it with Samoa Joe.
So you think he's their next? You think he's their next Golden Man?
I have a feeling. Give him about 2 years. Austin Theory will become NXT champion. When Austin Theory becomes NXT champion, you guys are in for a treat. Because Austin Theory as a champion, especially if it's going to be a heel Austin Theory, which we have gotten on Evolve for years, heel Austin Theory champion is the best heel work I have seen from a kid his age, besides MJF, to date.
Right. Now, why does we have to wait that long for him to get heel as champion? Honestly, if he's that good, I could definitely see him becoming North American champion.
Well, that's my thing,
Do you see his first title being the North American or the NXT championship?
NXT championship. They're going to skyrocket straight to the top.
Let me ask you a question, though. Is Austin Theory MJF?
No.
Oh, my God.
He's not.
Exactly. There you go.
Okay. So, with that being said, we have discussed, I believe Kazuchika Okada is the best wrestler in the world. He believes Austin Theory. Donnie Dumps, who do you believe is the best professional wrestler in the world today? I have a feeling I know what you're going to say. It's probably going to piss me off.
Adam Cole, baby.
Oh, wow. Not the direction I thought it was going to go. Okay.
Exactly.
No, I do agree with Donnie.
All around, consider everything, in-ring ability, mic work, everything. I think he's the best all around.
I agree. I agree. That is something that me and Donnie can actually agree on.
Adam Cole never has a bad match.
No, and Adam Cole never has a bad promo either. He doesn't.
No. And honestly, and I can agree with that. Like, the only reason why I put Okada over there, the only reason why Okada isn't really universally believed as the best wrestler in the world is because he's Japanese and not a lot of people can understand him. But I believe, like I said, both of them. I believe one, in order to put in the category, is how many times they had a bad match. In Adam Cole and Kazuchika Okada, I've never seen them in a bad match. Even Okada versus Skull at All Out was good.
Yeah, I agree.
All In, my bad. All In was really good.
Yeah, was really, really good.
But in Cole's the same way. I cannot remember a bad Adam Cole match. And if there was one, it wasn't his fault.
Here's a history lesson. Where did Adam Cole originally come from in the Indies? And don't say Ring of Honor because you're wrong.
I know. Raising my hand.
Okay, Ryder, go ahead.
PWG.
Wrong.
What?
No. Before
before
PWG, he was actually in CZW.
Yeah, I forgot about that because he was.
He was there. Yeah. He was their CZW. He was their CZW Wire champion.
It was PWG that started the Adam Cole Bebe, though, wasn't it?
He started the Bebe in PWG.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can I be honest?
But Donnie, go ahead. You had something you had to say. Go ahead, Donnie.
Yeah, I thought Adam Cole was dead.
No, yeah, as many times as Keith Lee has killed him. But anyway.
Oh my God, Keith Lee. But no, honestly, am I the only one who can consistently say the best indie wrestling over the past 10 years has come from that small building in Rosarita, California.
The American Legion Hall.
I 308. I think it was post 308.
Yep, post 308. And they tore that fucking arena down.
Think about the people who have come from that building. Like the Bucks, Adam Cole, Candice LeRae, Johnny Gargano, Ricochet,
Joey Ryan,
Leo Rush, Keith Lee. Like, if you were every great indie wrestler has stepped foot and competed in that building.
Matt Riddle.
And so many great moments. Like, one of my favorite moments in PWG history has to be, oh my God, I want to say it was Adam Cole and the Young Bucks versus Candice LeRae, Joey Ryan, and somebody else. I forget who it was.
Hang on.
Where they super kicked Candice LeRae with a boot with thumbtacks glued to the bottom of it.
I remember that.
And that showed how tough this bitch is. Candice LeRae, in my opinion, Candice LeRae at that time was billed as the toughest woman in professional wrestling.
Yeah, I agree. All right, so we have I want to cut this out in 10 minutes because Donnie has other obligations that he has to go handle.
Right. And I got to go to bed.
Yeah. And so do I, actually.
All right, good.
So for the next 10 minutes, we're each gonna do. So, Ryder, I love you, but let's try and keep your opinions down to a minimum here.
Okay.
We each get to say one good thing that happened in pro wrestling this week and one bad thing that happened in pro wrestling this week. One good thing and one bad thing. I'm calling it. I'm actually going to call it Bad Meets Evil because that's literally what it's going to be. It's literally going to be Bad Meets Evil. So, one good thing this week, one bad thing this week. Donnie, I'm going to start with you.
Well, first off, the bad thing was the Super Showdown, the whole card. I mean, the whole show it's just one bad thing.
Yeah, I agree with that. He actually took one of my bad things too. So
I think that is the worst thing that's happened this week.
All right, so what's your good thing?
What's my good thing? Well, my good thing hasn't happened yet, but it's going to be tomorrow night at AEW Revolution when MJF picks up a victory over Cody.
How'd
I know he was going to go there? All right, Ryder. One good thing, one bad thing. What's your one bad thing from this week?
One bad thing, honestly, I think I have to go be the devil. I think I have to go with everybody on this. I got to say the Saudi show was definitely bad because it's just always bad whenever you think about it.
Okay.
The Saudi show's never been good. The good thing for me is that soon everyone in AEW, everybody dies. Lance Archer signs with AEW. I'm so happy. I followed this guy through TNA all the way his career. I'm glad he's with AEW. Thank you. Thank the Lord.
Okay, so one bad thing that happened this week, which we're all going to be in agreement on, is that dumbass fucking Saudi Blood Money Part 5. Yep. Okay, so we got that out of the way. Good thing. My good thing also hasn't happened yet, and it doesn't have anything to do with WWE, AEW, or even MLW. It has to do with GCW. My good thing that is going to happen here again relatively soon is that I actually get a GCW championship match that I can actually watch. Because if it happens the way that I'm planning it to happen, GCW is coming to the 2300 arena.
Nice.
And I live 45 minutes outside of Philadelphia.
Good shit.
And if that happens,
yes, you're going to be front row.
I'm buying a fucking ticket and I'm going to a GCW show.
There you go.
But my good thing that happened this week would definitely have to be the confrontation that is going to lead into one of the biggest matches of this whole feud is Johnny Gargano attacking Tommaso Ciampa, furthering their fucking rivalry. That is my one good thing that happened this week. I love it. I absolutely do. I think when these two get together and work, it's gold. And we don't get to see Johnny Gargano in the light that we saw him in the past. He's going to be a fucking heel. And I love heel Johnny Gargano. So, all right. At the end of the show, which is now, we're going to go ahead and plug our social media. You can go ahead and follow me at Strange Dabs. That's STRANGEDABZ on Instagram. Ryder.
I'm gonna take the Big E route. Don't follow me. Okay. Don't follow my personal shit because I really watch everybody there. But if you like to follow my gaming channel, it is Undisputed Gaming without the U. Undisputed _gaming without the U. Also, my professional call is Tyson Washington. Ty_Wash 305.
Nice. All right, Donnie. Plug your shit.
You already know. It's at Donnie Dumps 401. Forget about it. I mean, I usually don't like being followed either because I think being followed is creepy. Forget about it. But if you feel the need, because I know all you fans, you know, I mean, you have nothing else better to do in your lives. So come and follow the Don and get a little bit of enjoyment out of it. You know what I mean? Forget about it. Always GTL repeat.
Yeah, some of the best fucking heel promo work in the call community. Well, I take that back. Virtual pro wrestling community. Out to date. Yeah,
that's what it's called now too.
It's
that's
called
another
now.
announcement we need to make now. It's virtual wrestling.
It's virtual pro wrestling. Is virtual wrestling.
Pro wrestling. That's what we're calling from now on.
Get it right, Marks.
Yep. Get it right, Marks.
Don't think you're a fucking mark. I mean, you're a mark anyway if you follow me. You know what I'm saying? Forget about it.
You're a mark if you listen to our fucking show, but you know what? That's okay. Because we accept wrestling marks here. Because we're a bunch of fucking wrestling marks. We're all a bunch of fucking marks.
We got to turn that into a segment. Mark of the day.
Yeah, dude. We got to do that next week, Sunday. Down the scope. We add a new segment called Mark of the Week. We're doing it.
Matter of fact, okay. We'll discuss this. We'll discuss this post show, but we'll go over. We'll announce. I'm pretty sure he'll probably announce what the requirements are, but we'll announce.
Yeah, we'll keep everybody updated on my Instagram page. You can go ahead and make sure that you keep up with our podcast on Donnie's Instagram and Ryder's Instagram page as well. We'll come out with updates. But yeah, we got a lot of stuff to talk about post show, and we'll probably do a lot of that on this coming Sunday, after we, go over the highlights and lowlights of Revolution. Which I don't think there's going to be any lowlights in my opinion. So
yeah,
I don't think so. But thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate it. Currently, we're just going to break the bread here and just completely go off of everything. We're actually doing this through a PlayStation party. But that's only for the
Struggle Life.
Struggle Life. Shout out to Sony.
All my fans over in Tokyo.
So
about it.
Hi, you industrious little fellas.
This is only going to be a temporary thing for us doing this over a PlayStation party on YouTube. We're actually probably going to try and get more into a professional format. Probably end up using Discord. I'm going to eventually try and get an OBS with a computer when the time comes, and then we can go ahead and actually do this right. And then we'll be able to put our shit out on multiple platforms like iPodcasts and Spotify. But for now, you get to watch us on
New Day Podcast. We're coming for you.
But for now, you gotta deal with us on YouTube. So, thank you guys for tuning in. I'm Strange Dabs with Ryder and Donnie Dumps, and this has been Down the Scope. So make sure that you guys tune in every week, or you're a WWE fan. Pew pew. Later, guys.
Bang bang.